10, 15 years or 20 years, we just lived off the stuff that they left the first time they logged.
Right.
And a lot of it would be scarred around it. And, you know, scarred butts is pretty typical in the cedar. Or it'd be real fine grained, and all of a sudden it'd get real coarse grained.
Well, at that time when they were logging, what was the market for the material? I mean, I know POC was Japan at that time. Because I think the only domestic.
It's been since like the 20s or something like that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they started buying Port Arthur cedar.
Huh.
And there used to be a mill in Coos Bay called Evans Products, and they made battery separators, they made Venetian blinds, they made a multitude of products out of Port Arthur.
I thought arrow shafts were the biggest thing.
Arrow shafts, yeah.
Huh.
There's one arrowwood factory left across the street here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And are they still making arrow shafts?
Yeah, still making arrow
out of
shafts.
Port Orford cedar?
Yeah.
That's a trip.
Yeah. They're the last ones left that I know. I mean, there's a lot of individual people trying to make arrows, or making arrows.
Oh, yeah. Well, how much of this wood is left around Port Orford itself? I mean, is that area...
The Forest Service has a lot of support on this.
Huh.
The government does. Bureau of Land Management, U.S. Forest Service. Private people have logged most of their cedar. Not all of it, because you figure, well, all our cedars comes from private ground.
Well, does the U.S. Forest Service periodically release certain tracts to be, or for various reasons, allow any to be selectively cut? No?
They'd rather cut it down and leave it.
How do you feel about that?
Not good. What a huge waste. I mean, for somebody like yourself, I mean, you know, within a half an hour here, I could show you 1 million board feet dead along the roadway.
Huh.
It's just been there, just standing there. Not to harvest some of it. Why we all starve. It's kind of
yeah. Well, that's the tension there is between the, you know, you see that on Vancouver Island in lots of places, between communities that depend for their livelihood on logging and people who don't want any logging to be going on. And it's like, it's not, what kind of world would we have if we weren't using forest products? I mean, I don't want a world of plastic.
Yeah.
You know.
Kinda, you know, and especially Port Orford cedar so special. If they were to just every month sell a few couple trees or something, you could create these cottage industries.
Yep.
Where in some ways they've almost killed the market for it because it's become almost unavailable.
Right.
For the boat builders and the Japanese carpenters and whoever else wants to make something out of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't supply something, then, you know, it doesn't make it more valuable. Eventually it makes it less valuable.
Yep. It ends up becoming in some cases a tree that's just cut down to get it out of the way, to get it. There's no market for it. Yeah.
Nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
But I fight with the Forest Service all the time, trying to get them to do something.
Huh. What happens if there's been all this fire? So if they have fire on the same lands, they'll still.
Yeah. Then last time we got any Port Orford cedar from the Forest Service was when they had the biscuit fire.
I see.
We were able to harvest some then, but again, the fire harvest is such a travesty also.
Huh.
In the sense that you harvest 1 or 2% of what's been killed, and all the rest of it's just left to go to waste. Where we're logging now up on the divide between the Umpqua and the Willamette rivers, we're doing 200 feet below the road, 300 feet above the road. But we're on this ridge. It's probably 3,000 feet, from the bottom to the top or something, and it's all dead, and it's all big old growth. And again, we're harvesting probably half of 1% of what was killed.
Doesn't leaving standing dead trees, isn't that more of a fire hazard than not?
It can be. I mean, and plus it's kind of ugly what we do. We just go along and cut along the roadways. When really you could make it look more natural if you could go up a little further and don't go here, go there, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of cream it. Yeah.
Hmm.